Well folks, here we are, an easy project and a big improvement. Here is the old clutch cable with the nuts removed. They're stainless nuts that I put on to replace the zinc plated ones. Well no, they were black actually, little black nuts that were on the original cable. Same black finish as that stuff. So I've undone them and pulled the cable out of the actuating arm. Not an attractive cable end, I would suggest. And the next photo shows the old versus the new. I've put the nuts on it for the purposes of the photo and the new shroud at the end. So it's obviously a better looking end. I don't know how long the zinc plate will remain like that. It might start rusting, I don't know, but it certainly looks like a better quality cable. It's got thicker sheathing and it's got extra sheathing in along its length, you know, where it would go around the head, steering head. So here's the next shot which shows the two cables dangling down from the bike. The old one's on the left. It's only got a little bit of sheathing on it there, look, and it doesn't seem to do a great deal. One thing, I mean, people could say, well, you know, I don't need advice. It's not advice on how to fit a clutch cable, thank you. I'm sure most people don't. But it's not advice really, it's just me detailing what I've done. And I did find actually, surprisingly, that the cable whipped round and missed my fuel tank by about an inch with all those nuts on the end of it. There's me removing a cable tie with a pair of rusty looking snips. Now, I don't know if I'd put that cable tie on myself actually. I suspect I probably did. There are two clamps on the right side downward frame tube. They pull out of holes in the frame and they will split to allow the cable to go in. But if you start from the top down, you can just poke, with no nuts on the end of the cable, you just poke them through the existing clips, but they do pull off. There's the old versus the new, much nicer, and you'll see in the next photograph that I've taken a picture of the other end of the cable, which the new one's got that black stuff on again, but it does look kind of better than the original one. I think it's not, the original ones are already rusting actually, you can't see it in the photo, but it's already starting to rust a bit. There's the new Venhill one underneath. It's got the right bend, it's got the lead or whatever metal it is nipple at the end with the plastic round it. They advise not lubricating them because the lubrication attracts dust, dirt, and, you know, effectively acts as a grinding paste. So tempting as it is to go and say, oh yes, I'm going to cover this in grease, copper grease or whatever, they say don't. So I'm not going to, or I'm going to listen to their advice. Now here's the old cable at the top with its miniature sheathing on it. It's got a bend in it, two bends really, so kinks in it. So I think that might be the source of the clicking. I could snip it and do an autopsy. I'm very, very tempted to do that. I'm tempted to do another autopsy on this, but that cable will do as a spare, which I shouldn't need. So it'll probably sit forever in my garage. Now that's the new top end. You can see the little Venhill label marker on the cable itself. I put a small amount of slack in the top, and that's just to allow a bit of adjustment if required. It does look like a good cable. I would certainly watch it for whipping round. Whipping round, it surprised me. It is a giant spring, isn't it? Just a big long spring. But it's a dead easy job. It takes about, you could do it in under 5 minutes, actually. However, much smoother, and I'm glad I've done it. So, there you go. In the meantime, ride safe. Take care, and I'll see you again.